Well, good evening. I'm Sherry Naudine, collegiate sports advocate, and this is our podcast number 3. And I want to introduce you to Cadee Zimmerman. Cadee, welcome.
Hi.
I had an interesting question for you because we've known each other a really long time. What grade were you when you started the recruiting process?
We met when was in seventh grade.
Fantastic. So, why seventh grade? What was that? What was the process for you that early in the recruiting evaluation?
Because that's when college coaches started coming to games. It was the first time I ever actually played in front of a college coach, and I realized this is what I actually want to do and be able to continue and be able to play for that for a coach one day.
Oh, that's exciting. And this is a great story. And this is why I wanted so badly to bring you up here and share it with the world. Where did you commit to?
I committed to Texas State.
And walk me through the beginnings because I love this story. I think this is like what every young lady dreams of.
So Texas State was my first softball game I've ever been to, and I thought it was cool because I remember it they played Oklahoma State, and I like Texas State because even though they're a smaller school, and not a big school, but they still play those big teams and still compete, and I feel like that's really cool because I want to be able to compete against those big schools as well.
That's awesome. And then it's how close to home?
Oh yeah, it's 30 minutes away from my home.
And that's neat too, because I think one of the experiences we've talked about for a long time is that this is a family experience, right?
Yeah.
And to take your family with you along on the process makes it important too. And it makes it just fun for everybody. And tell me more about your family. How many brothers and sisters do you have, and what are they doing?
I have an older sister, she's 21, and she also goes to Texas State, but she does sorority stuff at Texas State. And then I have a brother who's 19 who's trying to become a firefighter.
Awesome. And we love him. He was with our company doing baseball. So
Yes.
great brother you've got there. So Katie, tell me what were the biggest challenges in the recruiting process?
For me, the biggest challenges was not letting one at bat, one game, just one tournament affect me because I know college coaches were in the stands watching me, so it was really hard with my mindset to not let it take over my next few plays. And I feel for me that was the hardest part because as soon as I did one bad thing, I thought it was over, and it never is over.
That's great. Great insight. And so, what would you tell a younger Katie, somebody out there in the seventh or eighth grade? What would you tell them about this playing the game or the recruiting process?
I would tell them to just enjoy it because you're only gonna it's crazy to say how we travel just to play this sport, and I feel that's really cool to say, and all the opportunities we have, and even though it frustrates us, no one not a lot of people have this opportunity, so I wish I didn't take it for granted, yeah.
That's awesome. One thing I've always loved about your team is you guys have a unique bond. You guys kind of have that team that everybody dreams of being, right? You guys have stayed together. You've had one or two, come or go from the roster, but man, an amazing sisterhood, an amazing group of families. I showed up at your Airbnb in PGF and everybody had a different meal and everybody had roles. It looked like, almost a commune type of family situation where everybody was working together. And it always seems like your team was cheering for each other. They sat
Hmm.
in the stands and, somebody got a hit or somebody was on the mound. I just didn't see the angst that you see on other teams. Any insight to that? Was there some language or somebody that led that on your team?
I feel we just click so well together, and we all had the same personalities, and we've been together again for such a long time. But I feel energy was a big thing that we focused on, and so I feel that helped us, and I feel a lot of people like to watch us just because of our energy, and yeah, I do feel it
Yeah.
does come a long way.
Yeah, it really does. Tell me about your leadership. What does Coach John Eric and Coach Mike and Coach Brent say? Because I think they're an instrumental part to this success of your team.
Yes, they always stress about energy and stuff, but they also have fun too, and I feel that also helps when you have a coach who will like have fun with that, but like they also stress when it like needs to be, and like I feel like that's important.
Yeah, definitely. And it was fun to see you guys this last summer because you literally went out of the chute and you took down Top Gun. And, people weren't thinking, "Oh, that's the team to beat." Well, we all knew it because the year
Yeah.
previous, you guys, as a first year 16 and under team, were 17th at PGF Tier 1. So
Yeah.
I've always seen your whole team as a force to reckon with. But I mean, not a lot of stories got written about you, right? And we've put it out there. I think sometimes people look for the buzz and the excitement. Tell me what the buzz and the
Mhm.
excitement is on your team.
We just like we know that we're not like the biggest like kids, like we're not like the top D1 teams,
What?
but
You're
like
not
I
6 foot tall?
no, sadly not.
Oh,
So I feel like we have to do more because we're not like those kind of kids. And I feel like we like created a family, but I feel like with our chemistry and stuff, it's why we win the games that we do because we have like the heart that I feel like a lot of teams don't have.
I love that. And now, is it going to be different when you all go off to someplace different? A couple of you are going to the same place, which was
Yeah.
also unusual. But are you guys going to feel like twins separated at birth?
Yes, we've already talked about it, like when they leave that they have to come back for the next Christmas party because it won't be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love your Christmas parties. I'm coming to the second one. I just invite
Yes.
myself, can't miss those. You guys are legendary for that. Is there any recruiting tips or ideas that you would want to share with the next generation?
A recruiting tip I would like to share is definitely email because I feel like it does come like a long way because I didn't realize how much it helped until it was a 2025 class that was getting recruited and we were all emailing and how many coaches like came like it was crazy because I've never seen that many coaches in the stands before and it was all because we emailed. So I feel like that does a really big like part in the recruiting process. So I would definitely email.
That's great. And I'll even follow up because I remember the numbers because Coach
Yes.
Mike sent me a spreadsheet. I think there was 187 coaches one season, one summer, because
Yes.
all of you guys had our plan. You had a team plan with us, and you literally all bought in. Nobody bucked it. Nobody argued. And trust me, I had to get the copies of all those emails, so it was a lot, but it
Yeah.
works. And some of your teammates have gone to schools that they never even knew existed.
Yes.
And that's unique too. It's like, so many times kids go in there and they only want, these 3 or 4 schools and they kind of look into them. And you guys didn't. You're just like, man, we're going to email and we're going to follow Sherry's lead. And we just went all out and you guys did the work. And, the work is not fun. I think it's one of the best celebrations when you get committed. Woohoo, no more emailing, we're
Yeah.
done. And that's such a great feeling. So